that.
All right, we are live.
All right, good.
And we are joined today by, really, I got to sign into my own, and I can't sign into it because it's going to send me a two-factor authentication code to my phone, and my phone is currently the camera. So guess what? If you're on Facebook, you'd be doing me a huge solid if you could share our feed, to people. Maybe even to the Unframed Minds group. That would be awesome. You guys are so cool. And give me a moment while we get to Sharon. Because Sharon is caring, and that's how we grow. Dang it, I got to sign into everything.
But we hate Karens.
I hate Karens. Karens are fun, though. Karens
I got
fun.
in trouble for calling someone a Karen.
Did you?
I think we should change that rule. Karen is a very passive insult. I think it should be allowed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so. All right, I believe we're good to go. So today we're going to be talking about some strippers. We're going to be talking about some grills in prison, and we're going to be talking about regulations for the sake of fucking regulation. Yes, Miss Erica, that is Chase. We've got Chase joining us tonight because Anthony had to work, and I called literally my last resort.
Yeah.
This is all I could come up with.
I'm the last resort, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry you're stuck with me.
Yeah. Now, if I had some actual friends, maybe I could come up with some actual, good content for you guys tonight, but you're just going to have to settle with Chase, I'm just kidding. You're
kind of
very,
an asshole.
You're a very entertaining guy.
Oh, wait a minute. What words am I not allowed to say?
That's one. You're allowed to say that one.
Oh, I am?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can reiterate if you feel like the point wasn't quite driven home enough.
I'll save it for later.
Thank you. All right, so here we go. Leave my sex job alone? I don't know what in the world you think we're talking about tonight.
If someone is handing out sex jobs, I would appreciate
What is a sex job?
I'm assuming it's some kind of work that involves sex, and since I'm broke and haven't been laid in quite a while, I would take both.
The job or the sex?
Preferably at the same time. I'd like to get paid.
I will sweep floors and have sex with you.
No, sweep floors and spank whores.
I like that. That seems like a new bumper sticker right there.
Yeah.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, this is Mr. Chase Matheson. He was, I was with him rather, a few weeks ago out in Nashville for a kind of a get together. Let's call it that, a get together, where we were protesting the wearing of the masks in downtown Nashville.
I'd like to call it a spooning. We were stirring the shit pot.
We were stirring a lot. That's for sure. All right.
I heard from Officer Burke's biggest fan.
Let me go ahead and run the intro, and we'll no, you didn't know. I'm just saying.
You're listening to the Unframe of Mind show, the place to have the most mind-stretching, unprotected, intellectual intercourse of your life. Your hosts battle the forces of evil by lobbing fiery balls of truth, reason, and evidence over safe room walls.
And welcome back to the Unframe of Mind show, where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom. I'm your host, Daniel Wagner, and joining me is Mr.
Chase Matheson.
Chase Matheson himself from ChaseMatheson.com. And, we'll give you a chance to kind of tell people about what you do later on. Plenty of time to plug. It's what we do. It's the least I could do for,
Shop my website.
Coming and hanging out with me. I know you probably had better things to do for sure tonight on a Friday night.
I mean, no, unfortunately.
Well, I was trying to boost your ego a little bit.
I already told you.
I'm trying to get you laid, make you seem like an interesting person.
I was going to say, I already told you about my
I know,
issues.
but people don't usually come in for the intro, so they don't know.
Tell me these things before the show starts
Sorry.
so that I know how to display myself. If I had known that I was going to have a sex job interview right now, I would have.
Yeah, we had 3 for the intro, and now we're up to 7. So that means 4 people didn't know you have or your lack of sex life.
Well, if we can get up to 10, then there'll be 3 more.
Rewind the tape. Let's run that back in slow motion next time. All right. So we have a few things we want to cover tonight. Nothing too major. I'm not talking about the damn vice presidential fly on Pence's forehead surveillance security camera spy drone cheating mechanism he was using. Conspiracy, right?
Yeah, Well,
that's definitely real. That one's real.
That was Joe's old fly counterpart sniffing the hair to make sure he approved.
That was funny. The one where did you see the meme where they had the little fly? They had a little tiny mask. They were handing the fly.
No,
with tweezers.
I did not.
Oh my God, I died when I saw that. It was hilarious. So I'm not interested in talking about that. Y'all have probably had your fill of vice presidential debates. Who cares about that? We're not even a political show, but people think we're a political show. It just so happens that politics.
It's 2020. Yeah. Everything is politics.
Yeah, everything becomes political, unfortunately. But what I do want to talk about is some interesting headlines that came up across my feed this week, and one of which was how this gentleman, Okay, I'm just gonna click it. And maybe you guys can be as surprised as I was. If my mouse would work, that would be awesome right now. That would be my favorite thing in the world. All right, so we've got inmate has 30K iced out grill delivered to prison. Yes, that happened. And I hit number 5, so that's when you switch over. There you go. All right, this is the beauty of doing a live show and trying to produce at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm over here. You see me talking. My mind's not connected to my fingers.
Guys, I would like to do
much.
Daniel a favor, and you should go check out their website and use promo code SPOOKY for 15% off so that he can afford to pay a producer.
That would be amazing. That'd be a lot of T-shirts.
Yes, that would be.
Be a lot
so
of T-shirts.
buy more than one.
Yeah, head on over to our Teespring store, and during the month of October, promo code SPOOKY will get you 15% off. See, this is the point where a proper show would have like some really cool shit flying across the screen. Promo code SPOOKY, and it would have like some ghost going or something. You know, I don't know. It would do some weird thing.
What would he do?
Like.
You should record that, and you would make money off that creepy laugh for Halloween.
I'm just kidding. What was that? What was that one laugh where the Did you see that one? I don't remember what that was.
What
show was that?
Know, yeah, that's from something.
God, what show was that? When he's just laughing and it's all hisses.
We have way more smarter people to ask.
I know.
Why
So
don't you check the comments?
Please, let's. So don't double click your mouse here. That's a ban. Yes, no double clicking mice in my chat room, guys.
Can you double click someone else's mouse?
You can. Yes, you can definitely double click somebody else's mouse, but only with permission.
Oh.
Okay. So back to the news article. We've got an inmate has a 30K iced out grill delivered to prison.
Now is that 30 carat or is that like
$30,000?
Okay.
$30,000. I don't know. I don't rate things in carats. I've never bought a diamond. I don't know.
I'm just asking, for clarity.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what's the highest amount of K you can get in a diamond. Do you know? I don't know. I'm sure the ladies will let us know real quick. You guys know all about that pointless shit. All right. So as social media has become the advent of breaking news everywhere, even from the insides of the prisons of the United States criminal justice system, a Texas-based jeweler took to Twitter about a client that ordered a diamond-encrusted grill and had his order delivered to prison. Sam the jeweler said, about a month ago, I got a FaceTime from a client saying he needs a flawless set, but he was in prison. Pulled a couple strings, and here's the first 30K flawless grill delivered to prison. Oh, my God.
Now, the first thing I wonder is what the hell do you need a grill for in prison?
I don't know.
But
street cred, bargaining chips.
On the street cred thing, and I'm not a big connoisseur of rap, but does anyone remember Lil Boosie when he was serving time probably 5-8 years ago?
Mm-mm.
I believe it was $100,000 mink coat.
Mink coat?
Yes.
Prison.
In prison. That he posed with a picture of like the guards and other inmates. Like they let it be delivered. They let him pose with and I don't understand like whose dick you have to suck in prison to get those kind of benefits.
Oh my God. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. Okay. So the only thing I can figure is that this particular jeweler kind of had an inkling and knew that this would become a big story because it's so weird.
Did he plug himself?
I didn't see it in this particular article.
Missed opportunity.
I know. Well, they maybe this didn't do it, but I'm sure if people want to look it up, they can find it. I do see an Instagram post. Let's click that and see what's on there. Let's see what we have here.
How many of your viewers have grills?
At Sam the Jeweler, yeah. A month ago, I got a FaceTime from a client. Yeah, this is the guy. Oh, we got a video.
Oh.
Oh, my God. Why is he wearing... Dude,
now,
he's got all kind of jewelry and shit.
Is that racist?
Is what? I don't understand.
He's wearing a white hood. I mean, that could be racist.
Oh. No. It's not racism. It's cultural appropriation.
Gotcha. My apologies. I did not know the term of the week.
Cultural appropriation. I hope there's nothing inappropriate down there. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I don't know what the hell. Unless, like I said, unless he was just trying to get the publicity, which, I'd say with 500,000 views, I'd say that was pretty good move.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder how
it
much
worked.
jewelry he sells in the meantime, or other grills. That's ridiculous. That's insane. It looks terrible. I don't know how this ever became like a fashion thing. I've just never understood putting jewelry on your teeth.
Maybe we're missing out. Maybe we're just is there something attractive about that? Can anyone tell us if there's anything?
I don't know.
I would think it would get in the way. Like if you went down under or something like that. I mean, that's just a disaster waiting to happen. That's worse than braces.
Yeah, Jessica Cook from Facebook says that's just super creepy. Puddin says white hoods allowed in prison, yo. Yeah, Erica says it's gross. Like I'm just wondering, like if for me, if I see a chick who wants, I'm going on a date or whatever, and I see her smile and she's got fucking mouth full of jewelry, I'm not going back for a second date, because all I can think, like literally all I can think is this chick obviously makes some poor financial decisions.
I was gonna say that the exact same thing. Now you don't know. Maybe that guy also has like an $8,000 toothbrush and a whole bunch of other useless stuff, and he's just trying to spend the money. At that point, maybe we're just subtly jealous of him.
That might be the thing. Maybe I'm wishing I could do that, so I'm just acting bitter. Like,
yeah. Maybe that's it. I think you are kind of a bitter person.
Yeah, I mean, I could use some dental work done, but not like that.
I would sell it.
Not like that.
In the old days, you pull out Grandpa's teeth and go down to the pawn shop and get the weight in gold. Maybe they just wanted to carry on the tradition, since modern dental practices.
I can understand the gold teeth. That's different, because that's kind of
diamonds.
Isn't that back in the day? That was kind of a way, because gold is kind of it doesn't hold by bacteria and stuff like that as much as other metals. So
yes.
Or something. I'm speaking entirely out of my ass right now, just so you were clear. But I seem to remember hearing something like that.
Need to shave. You'll get dingleberries.
Yeah. See. I don't know about you. So Erica says, can you imagine what it would do to the genitals? That's
what I was talking about earlier.
Big ass mess. I assume what you mean by it's going to be a big ass mess means it makes you really wet, and we should probably lay down a towel before we go down on you with our big giant diamond encrusted teeth.
I just think of the scene from Scary Movie where he pulls back the panties and there's that big like bush forest.
Yeah.
All right. Imagine if you had one of them retro girls and you have one of those. All the like braces would get caught in some hairs. Imagine getting caught up in that. That looks like when you separated, there would be blood. Okay.
Like you would need a pair of scissors to separate the two of you. But on the plus side, that is a great way to get your flossing done. 2 birds, 1 stone. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
All right, they use. Puddin says they used diamonds to cut glass. Better not even come near me with that shit.
All right, wait a minute. Is there something? Are you made of glass?
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Maybe this is what I'm thinking. There's just because there's okay. I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm thinking, okay, there's this culture of people that are always trying to do body modifications and do different things, and like this has been going on.
I'm a member of the Church of Body Modification, actually.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, just the United States Church of Body Modification.
I didn't know that is that actually a thing, or are you just kind of making that up as you go?
It's actually a thing. It wasn't when I claimed it as an exemption to wear my piercings in high school.
What's it called?
United States Church, uscobm.com. .org.
Oh, it's
USCOBM.
COBM.org
.org or .com. I don't know. I haven't been there.
Org.
It's
not org.
Okay.
We'll try com. We'll try com and see what comes up. churchofbodymod.com. Here you go. Church of Body. You are fucking. I thought for sure you were making that shit up just as a roll with it kind of joke.
Just like the videos downtown, I did the same kind of stuff in high school. I'm an atheist, and I went to a Christian school.
So these are okay. I'm not gonna see any inappropriate.
I don't think so.
Okay, so these are okay. So here's the thing. This has always been kind of a thing, and I noticed it kind of took off maybe it took off long ago. Maybe this is something as old as
Strangeland.
maybe this is old as mankind. I don't know, but I mean, because you see the different tribes with the different little things, body modifications they do. So I guess people have always tried to come up with some way to make themselves stand out, because the common man is just kind of common, very average person. And you kind of need to stand out in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
Some people aren't going to go to the gym and work out and become a big old buff dude and, get those big old sexy shoulders and shit that chicks love. But
although someone that does that could be a member of the Church of Body Modification.
Well, yeah, they could double up because they're concerned about their tiny pecker.
No. It's mind over body over soul. If you want to be in control of your body.
Yeah.
So people who want to sculpt their body, people that are always on a special diet and they love the diet, and that's like they live for whatever kind of modification to their body they want to create, whether they dye their hair different colors, whether it's tattoos, whether it's strength conditioning, whatever it is, the basic premise is that you want to be in control of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that you want to experience the endorphin release when you have that kind of control and when you exercise. And there's all sorts of different
Okay, now that
grades.
makes sense on varying different levels, but what doesn't make sense to me is the grills, because that's not quite the same thing.
But it's a status symbol.
But that's the only thing I can think of is a status symbol is something. It's another way to stand out and show I've got so much money that I can afford diamond teeth. But again, we know we've met so many people that front and they're not honest. They pretend to have money. Those YouTubers that'll rent the nice house for the day and the nice car and say, yeah, you could have all this too if you just sign up for my program. And
you don't even have to rent one of those.
Give me $20 a month.
Go to a market right now like California where the parts of it are having people leave, and you can find a vacant house that's been on the market 3 or 4 months, and you can go there for free.
Yeah, I actually did see a rapper who decided, okay, I'm going to try to create a really bomb-ass rap video for absolutely no money. And he went out and started asking these people at their nice houses, hey, can we borrow your home for like 15 minutes? That's all I need. And he ended up finding, lots of no's, of course. You're a salesman yourself. You understand the power, the no, the struggle, the no. And he eventually found somebody that allowed him to do it. So he's got this video where, he was upfront about it. So it's not like he's pretending like it's his house.
Yep.
Which I really appreciated that. So he's not just trying to pretend. He should have pretended
at the beginning and then at the end been like, gotcha.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I think he did it the right way personally. But yeah, you could have run that any possible number of ways.
But why spend the money on a grill? Why not spend the money on bribing one of the guards to get out of prison? I'm sorry.
Well, that's just it. Based on the article, I don't know if he spent the money. I don't know. I don't know if he just got it because the jeweler received the request and decided to do it. Now, I don't know. I don't know the details.
Cubic zirconia.
Probably. Probably. That's hilarious. I was kind of hoping to see some more pictures. Code of ethics for spiritual guides. This is interesting. I would never want to do this, but I'm kind of interested in this. People that do this kind of stuff. Notice I paused between doo-doo so I wouldn't be caught saying doo-doo on camera.
But you said doo-doo twice.
I know, that was the joke. Come on, keep up. All right, so Code of Ethics for Spiritual Guides. I'm not reading all of this, but if you want to check it out, churchofbodmod.com or what'd you say?
USCOBM, United States Church of Body Modification.
USCOBM.com. That's fun. All right. Yeah, but I am really fascinated about people that do that. Like, if you what kind of person can, first of all, gets it in their mind that they want to, and then has the ability to do it. That's the second step. To stick hooks in their back.
Yeah. Oh, so that is
and suspend themselves.
That is exhilarating.
You've actually done that
once.
Seriously.
Just
I've never met anybody that's done that before.
My friend Victoria does it 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And she's definitely a character, but that's as much as I should say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Like, okay, just don't speak on her experience, but can you speak on your experience? Like, what was it like for you?
It hurt like a bit of a bastard.
Yeah.
At first.
Okay.
Then it was a really dull pain, and if anyone out there has gotten like their nipples pierced or like a septum piercing or one of the more painful piercings that you get, you know that there's a strong endorphin rush that comes after that, and you just spend about 15, 20 minutes enjoying the endorphin rush. It was at this place called the Rutledge in Nashville. I don't think it's there anymore. I only went one night with her. I was the most normal person there, and at the time my hair was 3 different colors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it was fetish night.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm not interested in doing it myself.
You
but
should.
I don't knock anybody that does it. I mean, I'm completely like my jaw hits the floor just thinking like, wow, that's so like to be able to do that. That's impressive. It really is. I mean,
I'll be honest. Since since the devil's lettuce has come into play, it makes pain a little bit, makes it feel differently.
Yeah.
So I've been a lot less excited about that kind of thing since I started.
Okay.
With
so
the devil's lettuce.
Is it like what was it? Okay.
You know the burn when
you
you work out. That when after you have a real hard workout, your arms hurt, and you have that like that sore, but you feel good.
Right.
Imagine that times 10.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but that's after the initial pain.
That's after.
So it's not,
you still
okay.
have a hook going into your.
Okay, so it's not like you're just dangling there in pain.
No. There's
your
specific
body's
spots that they put it in so that there's very little tension on your actual body, like it uses your body's natural, whatever it is.
Right.
You know,
there's a
anatomy.
certain
There we
science
go.
to it,
Yes.
so to speak.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
She's done the one where they put it in the back of your legs and everything, and you
just dangle there.
Yeah, like actually like that.
Yeah.
I was just,
You just went up on your.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's wow.
Yeah.
So was it something they had to like talk you into doing, or
No. I was
interested.
interested in doing it. Have you ever seen the movie Strangeland?
Mm-mm.
Okay. If it's an old movie, came out in like 95. It's about some predator that meets people on the internet and invites them over to some college party, and then he body modifies them. D.
like
Snyder.
against their will.
Yes, like to teach them a lesson or something like that. But D. Snyder is the star, and that movie.
Strangeland.
Yes, interesting. That's interesting. Watch that. That's what got me kind of to look into the scene.
So then you were like, okay.
And then the guy that pierced my nipples, Teddy at Lone Wolf.
His name would be Teddy.
Yeah, his name is Teddy.
His name would be Teddy. Of course, it's Teddy. I wouldn't expect anything less.
But he was big into the scene too, and then there was Scooby, and a bunch of the tattoo artists there were into it. So when I started getting my tattoos, I hung out and did that kind of thing.
Okay, I don't have any tattoos either, believe it or not. I've always wanted one. I've just never got one.
Okay. Well,
I need to get one.
Check out Teespring.
Yeah.
Use promo code Spooky
so I can afford to get it.
So he can buy a tattoo.
That's been one of the number one reasons that I haven't got one is just cost, because I want something of such quality that cost is going to be an issue. Yes. I know it will be.
Yeah.
And I've already got a design drawn up.
Okay.
And just to give you a brief idea, the idea is to have, I've already drawn this up. It's got a single wing coming off one side.
Okay.
And there's like leather straps that wrap around it, and then there's like a dog chain, like dog collar.
Okay.
Not dog collar. Dog tags. Sorry, dog tags. Also wrapping around it, like a chain that wraps around, and everything's kind of intertwined.
Okay.
And that's actually what makes the wing is the leather straps and the chains and the little ball necklace that you have your dog tags on. And the dog tags, each one will have like there's a chain that runs through the whole thing, and it's like the timeline of my life. So one of the chain links will be replaced with a wedding ring where I was married, and then when my children were born, those will be the dog tags that hang off of it with their kind of initials and maybe their birth month or something like that.
I got you. Now,
something simple.
You have realized that you just compared a wedding ring to a chain.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted
that
on the record.
The chain itself is to represent my timeline. But it's just part of it. Yeah, I get it. I do get it.
Just making sure we thought it through.
I am very clear on the power of symbiogy and whatnot. Anyway, Erica says, I have several tattoos. I am one of them. You're one of a tattoo. You are a tattoo? That's interesting.
Or maybe she's saying she got a tattoo of herself. I know a guy that did that.
That's weird.
He got a tattoo of himself, Frankenstein.
Erica, you did not get a tattoo of yourself. Puddin falls asleep during tattoos. You've had enough tattoos that you fall asleep.
I have. I've fallen asleep in a tattoo.
So I've heard it from a number of different people what they're like, but I've never actually got one.
You should.
I'm not against it. I'm going to get one someday. It's just I have not yet. For some reason, my kids like to eat, so justifying the cost of a tattoo is So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that idea, that general outline of design,
Okay.
and I want to find somebody that's clearly a better artist than me. I'm decent. I can draw pretty well, but I know there's artists that are way better, and I want them to punch up my design in their style.
Make sure before you pick out an artist, you speak to people who have been tattooed by that person.
Oh, yeah.
You review what kind of aftercare they suggest, because there's several accepted practices, but there's some that are absolutely not as good as others.
Really?
And I'm not going to start an argument in your chat, because that between people who get tattoos, there's like an argument about the whether you put cling film or a gauze pad over it, or
Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes.
Kind of like Edward and what's his fuck from Twilight,
What's Twilight again?
the movie.
Yeah,
you know how the girls were like, Team Edward, Team the other guy.
I vaguely remember that. It was kind of like when Ugg boots were in style.
Oh yeah, Ugg boots and vampires. I miss those days. Remember back when Ugg boots and vampires were cool and not Rona? Anyway.
Oh, the floor.
The floor's Rona.
Yeah.
Did you send me that link, by the way? No, you sent me
that.
no.
I sent you the cat in the MAGA hat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, new audio. Don't switch. No, I don't want to switch. Okay, so you sent it to where?
General.
Got it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up for folks there. Oh yes, people talk, and it goes over here to general. You want this one right here? Yeah. Okay, I got you. I've got you. Here we go. Number 5, and there we go. This is one of Chase's designs he's made. For those in the podcast listening audience, it's a shirt with a cat in the MAGA hat saying, "I will not wear it here or there. I will not wear it anywhere. I will not ever wear a mask. The government can kiss my ass." You can find that at chasematheson.com if you want a shirt. He's got some pretty clever ideas.
And I will make anything on a shirt. I do charge extra if I think your message is stupid. That's just, if I don't want to make it, then I'm going to charge extra. But I will print anything on a shirt. So if, your audience has any really racy shirts they want printed that they can't get someone to print, holler at me.
Erica says there's a giant pussy on that shit.
Yes,
there is a giant pussy. And didn't you get in trouble for having the actual cat in the hat?
Yes,
or something
I
on
did.
there, so you had to change it to.
And I bought the commercial license from the lady, and I kind of knew it was bullshit, but I was like, hey, I bought it. She was selling it. So I bought it.
Okay.
And,
okay. So you could at least kind of say plausible deniability.
They shut down her store.
Boy.
She had 17,000 downloads on that item.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at like $3 a piece. So they wanted their money.
Can you imagine, like, how many people out there think they have the rights to the Dr. Seuss material?
And you know what? How many of them get away with it because they don't put that message on there?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Yep.
No doubt. Okay, so let's move on into the next story here. Actually, I don't want to hit the story yet. There's a story I want to hit later on about a stripper, and it's fantastic.
Want to hear about the stripper?
Yes,
though?
we will definitely hear about the stripper. But I want to talk about something a little bit more boring, and I'm not going to say it's more boring because that would be really weird to say it's boring and then go into the topic, because that would
make
be
it fun.
Terrible salesmanship, right?
Let's make it fun.
You see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
No, I'm just kidding. So I was listening to a podcast earlier, and the phrase came up, and it stuck in my mind. And for whatever reason, I zoned out for the rest of the podcast. I had to go back and re-listen to the whole thing because my mind just started going into this. And it was the idea of regulation for the sake of regulation. And when I brought the topic up to you, you said, "Oh my God, something just happened to me today."
Yes.
That's perfectly descriptive of that exact phrase.
100%.
So let me go ahead and just give you an opportunity to tell that story, and then I'll kind of go into what I was thinking, which it is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite what I was thinking, but it does kind of go hand in hand. But I'll let you tell your story first.
I have my website, but I also just started selling Kirby vacuum cleaners. If anyone knows that, they're actually not vacuum cleaners. They do a lot of different stuff. But
okay, now I'm going to stop you for a minute. This motherfucker comes to my house at 5 o'clock today to sell me for 2 hours on a fucking vacuum cleaner. I told him I'm not going to buy it, but I'll tell you what.
It sucks, it blows, and it vibrates.
This dude does a fantastic job with his presentation. If you are interested, please hit him up. He does an excellent job. I do want one. I just can't afford one right now. But I would say it's definitely worth the buy. And you're not charging arm and leg. I'm not trying to sell your vacuum cleaners here.
No, I got you. Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know. That's what he's doing now. He's good at it. Hit him up.
And it's not something I just started. So before everyone inboxes me with, "Oh my goodness," like they're not going to give you your guarantee. I was born into a Kirby distributorship. So like my dad paid off $1 million house at 38 with his, because he had a massive business. So I've seen all the good, the bad, the ugly, all of that.
Yeah.
Please, I don't need to see the Inside Edition episodes. I know the people that were on them.
All right, so back to your story.
Regulation. So obviously there's sales tax you have to collect. All right, I've gotten in trouble with the sales tax man before on that. So got my new sales tax thing, had to get the business license and all that. Well, I live inside the city of Tullahoma. Great city, super clean. All the people are nice. But
great parks too, by the way.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why I moved there and not like to Murfreesboro for dollar. It's a great little town.
Yeah, we went down to the waterfalls down there.
Okay, Rutledge Falls.
Rutledge Falls. Yeah, that's the one. It's awesome.
Well, so I had to get a county business license and a city business license. No big deal.
Yeah.
Well, county business license is 2 pages. Instructions, application. Easy enough.
Sorry, little ragamuffin from YouTube. She says this is the infomercial part of the show. Yeah. I wanted to be really careful not to make it an infomercial part. But I just, never mind. Go ahead.
So, basic application for the county. Real simple.
Yep.
Page of instructions, page to fill out. Go to the city. Page to fill out. Page to sign saying you have read the trash pickup policy.
Okay.
Then there's the trash pickup policy, which is 3 pages.
Mm-hmm.
So there's now 4 pages dealing with trash pickup. Then you have to now it's a home-based business, all right? You can't buy a Kirby, you can't buy one of my T-shirts at my front door. I will probably shoot you. Like, you can't come to my door. That will freak me out. Call me, text me, I'll mail it to you, meet you somewhere. That's just how it is. So I'm not open to the public.
Can you imagine, you're a door-to-door salesman at times. Can you imagine somebody coming to your door?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Excuse me, I'd like to buy a vacuum. And you're like, no, thank you. Come back later.
No,
you slam the door.
No, yeah, you've got to be way better than that. If you want my time, you've got to be a performer from the second you knock on that door. But so we've got the 1-page application.
Right.
We got the 4 pages on trash pickup,
mm-hmm.
and then there is a permit and zoning thing. Now it's a home-based business. I'm ironing vinyl on T-shirts.
Yeah.
And I have a vacuum cleaner in my closet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I have to go talk to the codes department. Well, there's no fee for this codes license. You have to get this permit. But there's a 2-page form that you have to get notarized.
Okay.
Okay? To make sure you are in compliance with the home-based business before you open up for business.
Because it's not enough for you to be right there in front of them and just sign it.
No.
Even though it might actually be on camera right there. Hey, I'm signing it. Is that not notarized enough?
But my thing is
does that not count?
Why you've already had to get the permit. They won't give you the business license if your business is not in the correct, what are you doing? That's in your house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, you can't manufacture potato chips in your house. You're going to have to go talk to the health department. So I'm making T-shirts and selling them on eBay and on my website. But now I have to go through all the red tape of the codes department. I have to go pay a notary, okay, to notarize this, saying that my uncle knows that, and that's what it is. It's that the landowner knows it's being used for commercial reasons. Now, I live above a barber shop with a big sign that says barbershop and stuff. So I'm pretty sure you're allowed to do commercial.
So the property itself is already
commercial.
Right.
Yep. It's in their computer. They have to, but you still have to go through this paperwork, and it's job creation. Remember shovel-ready jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Those are them.
See, that's again, multiple pages upon multiple pages, many steps. Like, at what point does somebody
all to pay them sales tax money? I could sell it to you bootleg under the table.
Yeah.
Lie on when I got my website and say my business is in Kentucky,
mm-hmm.
and then it's a Kentucky business selling to Tennessee, so there's no sales tax. I could go through all those hoops and not pay them. I'm trying to pay them. but you have to jump through all these. You still have to pay them to jump through the hoops.
Right. Now I'm just imagining, say I'm somebody who's not as driven as you, and and I come across, okay, I'm just wanting to sell some T-shirts out of my house. That's that's nice. But then I go to start trying to legitimize it and try to get the actual licenses and go through all the processes, and
that way you can sponsor a little league team or something for advertising.
At what point does that person go, you know what, this ain't worth my time, I'm not dealing with this shit, I'm not doing it, and they just don't do it? How many jobs are not ever created because people just don't? Well, they won't. It's too much.
That is why, and I don't want to get too much off on a tangent, but we talk about trade jobs in college and all. Well, trade jobs are self-employed, where you have to pay taxes and where you have to go through all of that rigmarole and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's way easier to just go work for somebody else and let them pay you and take advantage of you because they handle the infrastructure of handling the taxes and they take out.
Because they're willing to do the work. Because they're willing. Or they have people that are specifically hired to do the work.
Yes, they have a department that handles that for you. So you give so much of your money away when you go work for somebody else, because let's face it, if you had weed eating to do, you're only going to pay them a fair rate. It doesn't matter what they're worth.
Right.
The weed eating job
as much as they think they're worth.
Yeah. You could have Donald Trump, but I'm not going to pay Donald Trump, well, other than for entertainment purposes, more than $40 to mow my yard, because that's the going rate to mow my yard.
45. I won't do it for a penny more, penny less. 45.
It's gonna be huge.
Your grass is gonna be huge. I do a terrible Donald Trump impersonation.
Yeah, I can't do it either, so I'm not gonna try.
Some of those guys that do it, they do it on point, and it makes you roll. Holy crap! All right, so yes. That is one example of regulation for the sake of regulation, because it gives people jobs and because it kind of puts people on the payroll, on the government payroll, and it gives people, paper pushers, something to do. It doesn't actually serve a purpose, doesn't actually add value. A matter of fact, it actually decreases value because of the amount of effort and trouble and the additional person you're paying. It's intentionally not the most efficient way of doing it.
So I
mean, in today's day and age, you can go on your phone and just...
We'll get this. So to exacerbate that, we all know airplanes cost a lot of money, right?
Not my airplanes.
Well, okay.
I make them out of paper. I fold them just right. They fly like the Dickens.
I used to.
When was the last time you heard that phrase?
It's been a minute, but not as long as you think. So
that bums me out, actually.
The reason the aerospace industry or even the hospital industry and all of these things have cost so much money,
the highly regulated
is because
industries,
of the regulation. So my dad builds. You know what a C-130 is? The big airplane. It's like I don't know. Saudi Arabia just bought a whole bunch of them for UPS.
Is it like Boeing or something?
Kind of. It's not, but it was a warplane anyway. Big ass plane. Look up C-130.
C-130. We'll keep on going with your story then. I'll look it up.
He makes the flap tracks that lift the wings up to slow it down, like the roller, the things that are on rollers. That's what he builds at his job. Well, every year, 3 people from that location have to get certified in CAD plating. Now, my dad's worked there for like 6 years, and he has to get certified every year, and he takes the same exact test every year.
So that's a C-130 right there.
That is a C-130. So it's
a big old plane, dude.
It is a big plane.
Dude.
It gets like 15 things on each
side. That's the door. That's the person door. Oh shit.
Well,
look at the cockpit. Okay, go ahead.
It's got a little nipple on the
end. It does have it.
Too,
it does have a nipple.
Yeah, you should make
that.
Yeah.
My penis has one of those growing out the side. Is that normal?
Are there any doctors in the chat tonight?
Totally just threw you off your game.
You did. So,
my bad.
But guess how much they have to pay the lady to come around and certify.
So her job is just to go around and certify people that have already been previously certified, more than likely.
Yes.
And say, okay, we're just making sure you have all your okay.
Basically, it's between $5,000 and $7,000
per person, or per session.
Per session. It's a 1-day session. Takes half the day, 5 hours.
5 hours, $5,000.
Yep. Wow. And she can teach, like she can certify 3-4 people whenever she comes, but her job is to go around. Now, obviously, there's regulations involved, so she doesn't get to keep all $5,000. But there are people in that industry.
Yeah, she's got to make sure she's certified to be able to even teach it.
Well, they get audited, okay, and we go through an auditor. You get to you pay the auditing company to come audit you.
Yeah, that's another weird thing.
Not only that, but you can like disagree and change companies, and of course, it's like $25,000-$30,000 to have one of these audits come out to your location.
Right.
Well, if you're paying a company $30,000, audit me. The way it happens in practice is they come in and they audit you and they catch you for the little stuff type thing and warn you about it. And if they find anything big, they try to turn a blind eye and have you fix it before they see it so that you stay their customer. And of course, if you've got a guy coming in that could cause you to lose your certification and hey, hide this in the closet type thing.
Yeah, here's an extra $5,000. Thanks, man. You just saved my entire
business.
business.
Not just that, but you definitely are going to go back with that company next year.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest.
So
there's it makes no sense.
And that's how all of the regulations are done. When they talk about these regulated industries, they create a new body that has the power to write a book, essentially, and then that book becomes law.
So here's what I was thinking when I thought the regulations for the sake of regulations. I thought about, okay, I'm a politician. I need to get reelected. What am I going to do? Am I going to leave things alone because they're working okay? No, I need to pass a law so I can say I did this thing to try to fix this problem. These are the results of it, and you only highlight the good things that happen out of it.
Yep.
And then maybe you get reelected, maybe you don't. But the regulations stay. Then there's so many people that are benefiting. There are a certain subset of people that are benefiting from that regulation. Those people tend to be the more wealthy donors, the ones that are pushing for the regulation to begin with, the people that are going to donate the money, the people that are also going to not donate you money if you try to take away those regulations after they've already been put in place.
Yes.
It's like, again, a huge conflict of interest.
Well,
you have a politician, and their entire the way you need to make people vote for you again is to show your work that I've done these things. I've done a bunch of things.
The problem,
when there may not be things that need done.
Exactly. The problem is we don't have representatives, which is what they are. We have lawmakers. They go up there and they think their job is to make laws.
Make new laws.
There are over 40,000 pages of laws regulating cabbage in the United States.
Now that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Okay, so tell me.
I'm not surprised, by the way.
But tell me, how
ridiculous.
on earth are you supposed? Am I not allowed? What can I do with cabbage? Why don't we just give us permissions for what we are allowed to do?
And cabbage, much like sex, is completely free to give away. I mean, isn't it? Think about it.
I wouldn't know.
Think about it. I grow cabbage in my backyard.
Okay.
I go across the street to my neighbor. Hey, you need some of this cabbage? I've got an extra cabbage. Oh yeah, sure. But the moment I say that'll be $2, now I'm breaking the law.
Yep.
And obviously 40 different regulations or however many you said.
Yep.
41,000
pages.
Because I had the audacity to charge him a couple bucks for my cabbage.
Yep.
Even though he might be perfectly willing, hey, yeah, I'll give you a couple bucks, no big deal. Or maybe he comes to my house and says, hey, I don't really feel like going down to the store and buying a head of cabbage for $1. You're just across the street. I'll give you a couple bucks. Here, let me get some cabbage. No, can't do that.
Yep. Not allowed to.
Not legally.
No.
That's not to say that we wouldn't.
It happens all the time, and we know it. But that is a black market, and technically, I would be participating in black market activities. And
if I took my neighbor's $2 for, how laughable is that?
It's a problem that we've been going through as a country for 60 years.
Yeah.
It's because there's at a certain point the rules are there. You don't need to define them anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of sort of thought that's what the Constitution did in a broad sense.
Right, you would think. But you have to look like you're doing something.
Yes. Yep.
Otherwise, what did Mayor such and such ever do for you? Well, nothing. Good. But people don't think that way. They don't think, good, he did nothing good.
That
he
is
left
why
everything
Clinton
alone.
was a good president. He was too busy getting his dick sucked in the Oval Office to do anything. So he just let Congress kind of argue with each other, and nothing got done.
Changed. Everything was locked up.
That's why the economy did really well, because regulators and people that trade stocks and money and make investments were able to actually reap the benefits of the decisions they made. If you make a 10-year plan and they change the rules 5 years into it, your 10-year plan just went out the window.
Yep.
So when you just leave it alone, people actually get to reap the benefits.
That's why how many people are not going to start, like the economic issues that we're going to see that we have not yet seen because of the way they shut down their economy, just like that. How many people are not going to start a new business now? How many new jobs will not be created now because they saw, they can just shut down my entire business, my entire livelihood, just like that, and I have to comply?
I would say you're going to see an influx in certain businesses and in industries that were not regulated, that were deemed essential.
Yeah.
But in the restaurant, in the entertainment, in the bar industry, I know 5 or 6 musicians that may never play again because they had to go get a real full-time job, and they make good money doing it, but it's an adult job where you spend 50, 60 hours a week there. And
doesn't that just break your heart?
Yeah, it does.
I'm sitting there thinking about it. If I was a musician, man, and there was nowhere open, I couldn't play nowhere. That is how I make my livelihood. Most musicians aren't the most financially sound.
No.
I mean, they do.
Not
do
the
well.
ones playing in a bar.
Yeah,
not the one. And I don't mean that
they
rude.
do okay.
But,
No, I'm not talking about the amount of money they make necessarily, but I'm talking about musicians. The more creative types in general don't tend to be the ones that are very rigid with their money. They'll do well, as long as the jobs are coming in. They know kind of how much they can spend, and that's fine. I don't mean to stereotype creative types. No. But I am one. I know how this works.
It's like a salesman. It's like when you're flush, you're flush, and when you're not, you're not.
Right.
So as long as there's gigs, you're flush.
God, it breaks my heart. So I want to hit up a couple comments. You might appreciate this, but Becky said, "Whoa, it's so different not seeing Anthony in his chair." D said, "I thought the same, but Chase is doing a great job."
Hey, all right,
good job, man.
There's a first time for everything.
Yeah, that's right. This could have gone disastrously.
There's still time. Don't count yourself out yet.
We still got about 10 minutes. We can still wreck this ship. No, honestly, I wouldn't have invited you on if I didn't think you do a great job.
Well,
I love your personality. I love the way you think about things. You're always kind of right there challenging the status quo and always pushing the envelope just enough to piss people off, and I love it.
I appreciate
a man after my own heart.
I appreciate that. Now, for the record, I am single, but I'm not interested. Okay, I don't bat that way.
Thank you for that. I'm not single.
No, I am single.
I'm not?
Okay. But I didn't want you hitting on me, man.
Well, I'm going to hit on you if I feel like it. It doesn't mean it's going to follow through. Look but don't touch policy and all that,
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So our last story of the night I want to talk about.
Please,
this
get
is
to the
strippers. Yes,
strippers.
Get to the strippers. Come on, guys. You guys have held on long enough. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit being an asshole and holding on to this, but I think you're really going to appreciate this. Let me make sure I click out of all this other shit that I have open. I don't need that. I don't need that either. Here we go. That's where I put it. How did I get 2 separate windows? I don't understand that. All right, so heading over to this awesome story.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hit number 5. If that thumbnail doesn't get you to click on this video, nothing will. All right. So, this story from Thought Nova. Let me go back to the top. Yeah, I read this article, okay? I didn't scroll back through it to look at the pictures at all. So, pastor quits church to become a stripper and says she's never been happier. So, I'm going to continue. For the podcast listening audience, I apologize. You're just going to have to go on over to the website, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And y'all, if you haven't clicked the like button, please do me a big solid and go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you have not done so. That would be awesome. So, to begin the story here, I sound like Mr. Howell on Gilligan's Island. Wait, I do? I don't know how Mr. Howell on Gilligan's Island sounds. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit too young for that particular
No. I
reference.
watched all the Gilligan's Island, but I don't really remember him. Thurston Howell III.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I thought I was bad at pop
All right,
culture.
D. Maria says, I've actually read this story. Good for her. Yeah, I thought it was a great story. So I'm going to go ahead and just read this real quick. It's not a long story, so bear with me. So Nicole Mitchell, let's go with Nicole Mitchell, was God's servant until she decided to follow her heart. And the heart led her to become a stripper. Does she regret this decision? Not at all. And here's her unusual story. She wanted to be a stripper at a young age, but her strict upbringing made her believe that her desires were bad. So the mother of 3 went to become... She's a mother of 3. Fuck's sake. Okay.
Can I interrupt?
She went on to become a pastor. Mother of 3 went on to become a pastor. Go on.
Because I've seen these like Snapchat premiums and stuff come out like that. You've got like a 13-year-old kid or something like that. At what point do these parents worry that their kid is going to find their content?
Like the mother of her children are going to find
are going to find her content, or they're going to see her on a billboard for the gentleman's club. There we go.
I don't know. And I'm sure that's another conversation she's going to have with her children, certainly.
But what happens like at school is what I mean. Is when one of those 600 kids they go to school with finds,
hey dude, I saw pictures of your mom.
Dude, hey, give this giant dildo to your mom, okay? I saw one of her videos and I think she needs a better one.
Do you think that's going to happen?
Yes. I was a kid once. I know that something like that will happen.
The bisexual 36-year-old explains she's bisexual and 36 years old. Mother of 3. She looks great. I'm not going to lie. She looks great for 36 and mother of 3. Good for her.
Yeah.
Very good for her. All right. So I was taught that women aren't allowed to lead and that women belong in the kitchen and with the children. Well, duh. Everybody knows that. Anyway, what's so funny? That's true. Women got to go back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
I'm just interested how she's going to turn that into so I must strip. So
right. So let's continue. So even though it went against everything I was told, I decided to become a pastor because of my love of performing. Okay, so in 2011, Mitchell, along with her then husband, joined the Woodland Hills Church in an evangelist church in St. Paul, Minnesota. She opened her eyes to the possibility of gender equality within the faith. It blew my mind, she remembers, of her first visit. Every Sunday, Mitchell was the first in line to ask the pastor a question after the service. One of my pastors asked, Nicole, do you realize that you're a theologian? We'd like you to become one of our pastors. She recalled to be on stage in front of thousands of people. And that's what I had been dreaming of for years. But Mitchell's identity began to unwind when she attended an LGBT-oriented theater performance later in 2016.
Okay, can we define what that is?
An LGBT-oriented theater performance?
What could that be? Could that be like Romeo and Paul, or is it like? Could it have been like a fetish night or something like that? I mean,
it could be.
That's a very vague.
Yeah, it is vague, and I wish we had more details. Honestly, I would love to have her on the show. So if anybody would be interested in reaching out on our behalf to say, hey, you should go on the show.
I will Airbnb. She can stay at my house.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm straight, and it rocked my world, said Mitchell, who now identifies as bisexual and pansexual. If I knew I revealed my queerness, I would lose it all because the church is not welcoming to queer people. She suddenly felt as if she was living a very duplicitous life and struggled to keep her sexuality a secret. After giving her first widely attended weekend sermon on July 4th weekend in 2017, Mitchell left the church for good. I never showed up again. Several months later, Mitchell came out publicly in a confessional YouTube video, which she shared on her social media platforms. She started thinking about what's next and building a new life. And the divorce came soon after, and she was free to do what she always wanted. Okay, well, that's
called a midlife crisis.
We're gonna have some comments about that.
Hey, go back up.
No, wait, right there.
Yeah.
That's not part of the article. Okay.
I just wanted to inspect. Okay.
Those shoes, though. Those shoes.
Yeah. I'm a shoe guy.
All right. Okay. So I want to stop there and rest on that particular point for just a minute. The fact that a divorce was kind of a result of this, I'd be interested to know how old were her kids. What did her husband think? What was the, because you got to think about that. You marry a woman, you have 3 kids with her, you think she's this, godly woman. She's been kind of like not really honest with you about who she really is.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much strife did that put, and how much extra pressure did that put on the kids in this situation? Like, do you go ahead and continue to live a lie to keep the kids happy, to keep them in a stable environment, 2-parent household? Because I'm a firm believer in the 2-parent household as far as the well-being of the children. Mm-hmm. Like, do you go ahead and put your own happiness to the side because those kids didn't choose to be in the situation, but you did?
I don't think that there's a right answer for that, because to say that would also be to say that unless you go circumstance by circumstance, which ultimately is how it should be done, you can't make someone stay in something that could be potentially abusive or
right. I'm not.
No, but I'm saying as someone, if you are hiding who you are, then that's abuse. That's even if you're doing it to yourself. So if you are sitting there waking up and you feel like you can't be yourself, especially some of the more left-leaning people out there will absolutely say that is, psychologically damaging.
Right. I do get it.
The way I was raised was don't do that. Then don't take that risk if you're not willing to deal with the consequences. So don't get married to someone unless you are willing to nut up and do it for the good of the kids. Is how I was raised.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't think there's a right
answer.
Yeah,
no, I don't think there's a right answer either. And what anything I'm saying, I'm not necessarily saying there should be like a law that says you must do this for this situation.
But it's what's right.
But it's as far as from a moral standpoint, I feel like the kids should be number one.
Yes.
100%. In every single situation, kids should be the number one. Not every single. Don't take it wrong what I'm saying.
No, I got you.
But when it comes to major decisions like that, the kids need to be the number one.
Here is my
consideration.
I think we're looking at the problem wrong.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that people are getting married before they've ever figured themselves out. They go to high school, they go to college, they get this job that gives them a identity, because that's all they've been looking for. Through college and high school, we all know that when you get out of school, you have to find a real identity.
Right.
Well, if you get it through
I've been through that. You kind of do what society expects of you, and you don't really, I didn't really get to know myself until 27, 28. I didn't start to really wake up, so I kind of get it.
The problem, I want to say the problem in the old days was that they never found themselves because they were so old school. They got married, never got divorced, and they went through hard things. Now, someone doesn't like your shoes, you get a divorce. And people don't take the decision they made before the 3 kids came along seriously.
Yeah.
I would be interested to know how long they dated.
I would like to know why it took until she was like 36 years old to figure out she was bi.
That's easy. Midlife crisis. She'd never had any fun. The impending event of her menopause and getting old.
Do you think she really didn't know? I mean, people do lie. And they kind of fudge the numbers.
She'd probably always been curious or something.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
But I've seen it in sales. I was in a lady's house. Okay, no shit. I was 18 years old,
and all of a sudden she was just,
no. She asked me
took
about
one
my
look
tattoos.
At you and
no, she wasn't that good looking, or I probably would have done it. But she's asked me, "Hey, I like your tattoo. Do you think your tattoo artist could fix mine up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm trying to sell her a $2,000 vacuum cleaner. Okay, so I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah.
She pulls down her pants and pulls her panties to the side, and she has this tiger lily tattooed on her snatch. Okay? And then she proceeds to tell me, why is it that...
So she just does
yes,
this.
In the living room. Yes. In fact, Jack Bird, who owns...
She didn't give a shit about the tattoo.
No. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Okay? So... Then she proceeds to tell me, with
shows up
her
to my
pants down at her ankles, why is it that men, they're always real horny when they're young, and then when they get to be like our age, with like my husband, they just aren't anymore. That's when us women want it most. And like,
that's
she was
true.
It's true, but she was like crying like a teenage girl.
Oh my God.
And I've seen it, and I'm
like,
sure.
Wow, that must have like. Wow.
Yeah, I'm 18 years old. That was a lot of fun, actually.
Did you sell the vacuum?
No, I did. I did, but we needed her husband's credit to buy it. Okay, and I'll be honest, I was not too keen on coming back around with her husband there.
Yeah.
But I say all that because things have changed now. We make decisions. They're all temporary. Yeah. All of our decisions are temporary.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be. We have to go back to understanding that, things are permanent. They have repercussions. This isn't a video game where when you die, you start back over at the end. I mean, it's an interesting philosophical belief, but that's not how it's going to happen in terms of reality.
Yeah,
so
yeah. All right, I do want to hit a couple comments here. Well, let's see this one here. Dee says she probably did it out of fear, or she suppressed it. She literally explains how she was raised and did certain things or didn't do certain things. Yeah, I caught that, and it was taught that we were wrong, which I do see a lot of people do that. And again, I don't know, man. You gotta.
It's scary to think you can be 36 before you stand up for yourself.
There's a lot of people that do that, where they're kind of like a people pleaser, and they'll do everything for everybody else, and then kind of to the exclusion of themselves.
Yes,
and that's bad too. You shouldn't. You do need to take care of yourself too. It's, again, for me, it always goes back to the kids. I would be interested to see how they handled that.
Now, I'm not a father, but I have to ask you, before you had kids, should imagine you had some serious conversations. Didn't you? Or was it like a complete accident? I don't mean to throw your business out there.
Yes. Accidents, lots of accidents. Lots of figuring out that the way babies are created is by holding hands in public places. And we haven't held hands in public places for 13 years now.
Okay.
And so far, no more pregnancies.
That's great. That is fantastic. All right. So always don't hold hands.
Do not hold hands in public, people. It gets you pregnant. So let me continue this article here. We're almost finished. Where'd we go?
You can go back up.
That's a fascinating. Well, let me click over here. Oh yeah. So finish the story. You really like that picture, don't you?
Yeah. I have to say
there's something about fishnet, man. This really okay. Anyway, so Mitchell says she found a dream job. It's really weird that we're having this philosophical conversation while meanwhile objectifying women like nobody's business. Like, we're totally
okay. I am not objectifying her. She is. That is her profession. Is to be a stripper. Is to be quote unquote objectified.
Fair point. But it's just
if she walked in here in like regular clothes or just as a person, and I treated her that way, then that would be objectifying. At that point, no, that is entertainment.
It is interesting though that we're kind of like almost like mature and immature at the same exact time in this same exact conversation.
I thought that was called adulthood.
Yeah, absolutely. So she says she found a dream job, started following my life coach's wife on Instagram, who was doing lingerie modeling. The former pastor continued. I was kind of triggered by it, but also magnetically drawn to it. That's interesting dichotomy there. So Mitchell knew she wanted to dig deeper into her sexual desires and ended up in a class called Sexpress You. Sexpress You.
How do you... Oh, no. Read that last sentence again.
Mitchell knew she wanted to dig deeper into her sexual desires and ended up in a class called...
It sounds like she just stumbled in like, oh my goodness.
Dude, you make an excellent point.
Goodness. I just wound up in this class. No, you do not wind up in a Sexpress You class. Okay?
That is interesting. I usually notice that stuff, and I completely read right past that because you're right. It completely takes agency away from her. Like she didn't say... I went to
Backpage.com or I found a phone number in the church that does the AA meeting. Where do those people advertise?
You'll notice that in a lot of the way people talk. You'll notice the way people talk when they're telling you their life story, they'll use phrases like "I ended up doing this" or "this." Like everything happens to them. Like they're not a moral agent in their own.
Well, and not just that, but with this particular subject, this entire article is kind of making it sound it's treating her very kindly, which is good. I'm not saying she shouldn't be, but to be fair, you do not accidentally stumble into a class called Sexpress You. It's not like, excuse me, I'm here for Physics 101. Oh no, this is Sexpress You. Well, screw it, close enough.
Yeah, exactly. So it was all about expressing your sexy self, and that was the linchpin that I needed, said Mitchell right after she linked up with a photographer to do her first nude photo shoot. I cried because I never felt more holy and sacred in my life. She recalled of the shoot, I never felt more sexy and liberated than I did then. Now that's interesting. She felt holy and sacred. I'm not trying to take that away from her. I'm just interested. Because you're already attending a church that already doesn't follow biblical practice.
Yeah.
Okay? Because women are not supposed to be pastors in the church. Women do not have leadership roles in the church. It says so in the Bible. It says a lot of things in the Bible that are contradictory, but just stick with me on this one. Okay? So she's already in a church that kind of accepts some of these things, but apparently not to the point of her bisexuality and that kind of thing, and the stripperness. So she had to leave the church because that was crossing the line, But then she describes her first experience as feeling holy and sacred. It's an interesting choice of words to use to describe this, though. And again, I'm not trying to take it away from her. I'm just curious, why those words?
You would have to ask her what her definition of holy and sacred is.
Yeah. Well, this would be why it'd be a great idea to have her on the show and just ask her these questions, because I am genuinely interested. What makes you go from I don't want to say one extreme to the other,
Before
but
you have
we're
her
talking
on-
about quite a change, quite a major metamorphosis that you go through.
I mean, I don't know, pastor, stripper, that's close,
Well,
isn't
they're
it?
both performers.
Yeah, they
according
both.
to the
There's a
article.
stage.
So
Some of them get wet.
So thrilled with her new calling as a stripper, the erotic model launched an OnlyFans account where she posts explicit photos and videos in exchange for money.
Hey, before you have her on the show, you need to get a black couch for here.
I know I do. I really do. So it's just I started really timid, like just topless photos, but now I'm at the point where I take personal requests to make videos very tailored to people's specific desires. She also works as a life coach and offers courses as to how to unfuck yourself, about being your true self. I'm to the point where back in March, I was actually going to be paid several $1,000s to have sex with someone, and I was A-okay with that. But then COVID hit, and that got canceled.
Oh, my God.
But
All right,
today,
no.
Mitchell is happier than ever. Let me finish this, and one more paragraph. So my sexuality is incredibly healing and sacred, she said, and when I give this gift to people, it blesses them. What the fuck? Okay, Mitchell is... Okay, I've got to finish this, dude. I've got to finish this. Okay, Mitchell is aware that not
That's
many
what she said.
understand her, but she's okay with that. The fact that she's living her best life while being her most authentic self is a reward. And as her per words... She says, every person has the right to express themselves in whatever way feels good to them, and this is how it feels good to me. Nicole Mitchell concluded, amen to that.
Okay, so
There's so much in that because it almost seems like she's describing it as doing God's work. Did you get that sense?
I got the sense that whoever wrote the article intended for it to be that. Now, if those are direct quotes, I would be interested to know how the question was asked.
Yeah.
Because that is so religious of an answer that it almost seems like it was planned that way.
Yeah, Becky from Facebook, she says, sorry, but sacred to me doesn't seem like stripping. Sacred is more like keeping your body for one partner to see. I guess different people have different definitions of sacred. I don't know, man.
And like my thing is, I do not care who you are, get to say, I was about to fuck a stranger for money.
Yeah, and then
COVID hit, and I was all worried about. No, you do not get to say that. Okay, like I'm sorry. I know that there are precautions and stuff like that, but come on, guys. Like,
okay,
are we giving her credibility?
After having finished the article, there is something that I did notice, and it's like this is something that people who are people pleasers tend to do. Mm-hmm. They tend to go completely off the other end, where they only care about themselves. They only treat themselves well. Fuck everybody else. I don't care what y'all are doing. And it's like it takes them time to regulate and come back and find that happy medium. And it seems to be a more exaggerated slingshot pendulum swing in the other direction the longer they do the people pleasing.
Yes. Now, to be fair, again, I don't know who wrote this. I don't know who wrote it.
You're not catching the reference, are you?
No, I'm not.
Fuck, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Pop culture,
it's not even pop culture. It's pretty obscure, but it's okay.
Okay. Well, but whoever wrote this is obviously trying to prove a point. I would not be surprised if the author has some of their own issues that they're trying to express, but like to me, that wasn't even well written. Good for the lady. I have no judgment. I think prostitution should be legal. You can pay for anything else.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
But you don't get to pretend it's glamorous. Like you can.
Well, maybe it is. I don't have an issue with that.
But
I have an issue with the fact that she takes on this new life, discovers herself. Great for her. However, in the process, she went ahead and destroyed 3 children's lives and her husband's life in the process.
Yep.
Totally turned their world upside down against their will, probably. I mean, I don't know exactly the details, so we're just speculating, of course. Keep that in mind. We're just speculating. We don't know any of the details. Maybe her husband was super supportive and her kids were like, yeah, that's great, Mom. You go do... I don't know, but...
Well, I that's why I say, like, I'd like to know who wrote it, because our entire opinion is formed about her based on that writing, and we can read that article and understand that there's something funny going on. So,
all right. So D says, I'd really love to see her on the show. I'd like to hear her tell it. Yes, please. I will reach out to her as well. But if you guys could also reach out to her, as it would make it kind of look a little more legit. Like, hey, these people actually do want to see me on the show. And again, I'm not trying to pass judgment on her. I'm just trying to understand what makes somebody do that, what makes somebody want to, feel like that's the right course of action. How did she justify it in her mind?
At what point did she determine that her wants were more important than her past decisions and past investments?
Right.
Because she threw a lot of investment away.
Right.
So
in her community, in her family.
What had to happen for
this apparently OnlyFans pays really well. So that would be a good note to end on.
Why don't we start one?
We
could just go right now, you and me, except OnlyFans instead of nudity though. It's just us going around beating up crackheads.
Beating up crackheads? No, there's actually some channels where dudes will confront pedophiles.
See, I'd be honest, I might go to prison for that then. Like,
I can't remember the name of it. There's one guy that does it, and he speaks Russian.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
then his like brother-in-law or something helps him out, and he like just stands there and looks like this big old tough. Oh my God, I die laughing and cry a little every time I see these because I'm like, oh my God, that's so heartbreaking. This is going on, but fuck, this is hilarious how they're dealing with this.
Yes, that. So
Dee says she's in the wrong business. Yes, ma'am. You want to join our new OnlyFans page?
Yeah.
Where
what are some suggestions?
Wait, why are we beating up crackheads? It's not their fault.
I mean, well, some of them.
Okay,
so, what should our OnlyFans page
we
be?
have crackheads come into the studio and we try to like be psychologists to them. We lay them out on the chair.
I prank a crackhead.
Prank a crackhead. All right, join our family.
Yes.
All right, man. Listen, I appreciate you having you on the show. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to give you a chance to plug your stuff here if anybody wants to check out his things.
Yep. Please go to ChaseMatheson.com. I have lots of funny T-shirts. Some of them not so funny. Some of them really funny. You can even sign up for a Shirts and Giggles Club where you get a free shirt every month. Well, it's not free. You pay for it, but it's cheaper. It's like half the price. So check it out. I make decals. I've got lizard people, demon sperm, cat in the MAGA hat, scamdemic, COVID 1984.
This one's great.
Look, Joe Biden in a mask. Please pull that up. Yes, look.
That's great.
Yes. So
what's it called? Sniff-proof Joe Biden?
Sniff-proof Joe Biden. Yes. Now he can't sniff you. Or scratch himself. So
I love it. That's great. Yeah. So if you want to check out his stuff, head on over there. If you want to check out our stuff, head on over to unframeofmind.com.
Use promo code SPOOKY.
Yes. Head over to our merch store right here in the tab. Promo code SPOOKY for the month of October will get you 15% off any item in the store. I'm going to sell my T-shirts as well. Probably one of my favorites right now is the I've Been Biden face mask.
I like that one.
That is so much fun.
One last plug. If you have good credit and you're in the Tennessee area,
oh, for fuck's sake,
go to my website.
We're out. All right, y'all have a good night. I appreciate you watching. Now listen, we are going to be doing the private Zoom call here in just a moment, so give me a couple of minutes to get that set up. And I think, Chase, did you say you were going to hang out for a little while?
Yep, I'll hang out for it.
So if you guys have any questions for him or want to talk to him, stick around. Head over to, I'm going to drop the link in the Discord channel first. I'm going to drop it in the Telegram channel second, and I will drop it in Facebook third. Now, just to let you all know, pretty soon, probably here by year's end, I'm going to stop dropping the link in the Facebook page. It will only be available on Discord and Telegram. So make sure you're signed up for one of those if you want to continue to join these private Zoom calls. This is for group members only. Look forward to seeing you there. You've been watching another episode of the Unframe of Mind show where we have uncomfortable conversations without a condom. I've been your host, Daniel Wagner.
And I'm Chase Matheson.
All right. Peace out, y'all.